Bonjour, my friends. How are you all doing today? Great, I guess. No, don't bother to answer, because I won't hear you anyway. You're not so smart, are you? Behind this screen, I am the being in a vial, a figure many of us know as it is a very famous one. But knowing something exists doesn't mean that you know what the thing is and where it comes from, does it? Well, today and for this first video, this will be the topic of our discussion. Alchemy, but not just alchemy. Alchemy in Elden Ring, because as you probably know, Elden Ring has a lot of alchemy references. One might be from an item that you yourself have abused, and this will be the first topic of our discussion today. But first, what is alchemy? Eh bien, alchemy is, it is many things in fact. It is a branch of philosophy, science and medicine. Well, it really is a bit of a clusterfuck, as the British say yes. Its goal is to perfect certain materials, mainly metals. The most common goal of alchemy being a process called chrysopeia, which literally means gold making. It is the transformation of base metal, most commonly known as lead, into noble metals, mostly gold. But it is obviously not the only goal, as there are two other big objectives of this science. One being the creation of an elixir of immortality. The one Keanu Reeves probably drank in the past. I mean, look at those images on the man. And the creation of the panacea, the cure to all diseases. And it all connects to one entity, one item, the Philosopher's Stones. In the end, this item is the quest of all alchemists. The alchemy itself was supposedly born in 30 before Christ, in what is called now Greco-Roman Egypt. And now that all that is said and summarized, let's get to the topic. Elden Ring, a wonderful journey to gold. Through your gameplay in Elden Ring, you'll encounter a lot of peoples, and among them you'll encounter the Golden Order, which rules over the land. There is, spoiler alert, even an ending for them. And who gives you the quest to achieve this ending? The Golden Mask. Now, it may seem trivial, but what does the Golden Mask represent? It represents the sun. The sun, oui. The golden one in the sky. Befitting as this sun points to a golden tree, guarded by Godfrey, a man adorning a lion on his back. But why? Why does Godfrey keep the golden tree? To protect it? I don't think that's the reason at all. In alchemy, the sun is devoured by the green lion. And green, I say. But why green? It is very important to remember that color. Do you know what liquid sulfate is? No? Maybe you'll know it by its common name, vitriol. A liquid that purifies matter. Pure vitriol is particularly aggressive. It eats through practically everything, just like a lion would. Except for one thing, one specific metal, gold. And who's wearing the golden mask at this very moment? Who became the sun? One that is tarnished and needs purifying before it can reach a higher spiritual path, before it can reach godhood. It is you, foul, tarnished. Through this fight, you not only overcome a great opponent, you become spiritually golden, while he, in his second phase, all tattered, worn and covered in blood, drips with your own filth. Then, just like the sun represents strength and masculinity, you'll rule over the land with strength and power through your new Golden Order. But, enough chit-chat. Let's talk about what I wanted to talk at first. An item that you probably used a bunch of times in Elden Ring. The Mimic Tear. One of the many goals of alchemy is the creation of artificial life, one that they call homunculus, the little man. The first known sources we have of the creation of an homunculus dates back to the 16th century, even though it's probably actually older than that, and could date back to Middle Age or even older again. Some say that it could date back to Plato, about whom we'll talk in a second. The first time we hear about it is in an undated book, apparently written by Plato himself. To create an homunculus, we need some stuffs, and you'll soon see where it connects to what we're talking about. But then, how do we create an homunculus? Well, there are different ways of creating it, and all of them are absolutely disgusting. But we'll focus only on one of them for now, the most commonly known and the subject of the Book of the Cow, the insemination of a cow's uterus. Yes, it is gross, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. To create the little man, you need a cow, a man's semen, and animal blood. Then, you need to inseminate the cow with the man's sperm and smear the animal's genitals with the animal blood and feed the poor cow with the blood of another animal. When the animal finally gives birth, what you'll get is a shapeless substance that you will place in the ground of sunstone, which is a mystical elixir. Sulfur, magnet green tutia, which is a form of sulfate ion, and the sap of a white willow tree. And this is where we start coming back to Elden Ring. At this moment, the thing will start to change and grow human skin. Then, you'll need to place it in a glass container like a vial. And weirdly enough, I feel like I've seen it in a manga before. Well, you'll keep this in the vial for 3 days. Then you'll feed it with the blood of its decapitated cow mother for 7 days until it's fully grown. Which is, let's face it, totally messed up. Now, doesn't it make you feel like you've seen it before? Maybe some Ash of War of the Elden Ring? One that looks exactly like you and spawned from a blob? It does remind me of the Mimic Tear, even more when I remember an important part of this whole thing. Where do you find this again? Oh yes, in Nokron, the Eternal City, sent there by Rani of the Black Moon, daughter of Renala of the Full Moon. This city locked in an eternal night. What can the homunculus be used for? Well, it could be used to summon a full moon on the last day of the month. And what a beautiful coincidence that makes, that the metal linked to the moon is silver, and is associated to femininity and change. What does the Mimic Tear look like when it first appears? It looks like Quicksilver, or Mercury, depending on how you want to call it. Yes, Quicksilver, a metal that changes shape easily, and of which the symbol is, well, the symbol of femininity. How odd. The people of Nokron really are tricky ones, aren't they? Peoples who worship the moon, their society being mostly matriarchal from what we see in games through their sorceress and their maiden. They invented the most volatile being of all, a homunculus. A creature of change, just like the moon they worship, the astral body of change and femininity. They oppose the Golden Order, which is tied to the sun and masculinity. Well, Nokron really is a truly marvel. These peoples are interesting, I think. Now, that is said and done, what about we say goodbye for the day? Let me know if there is anything I missed, maybe a detail here and there. On that, I'll bid you a goodbye, au revoir, à très bientôt, et beware of the full moon.